is are businesses that have been shut down more than others. Like the entire strip has been completely closed down for months now, which is the craziest thing to see. If you drive along the strip, there's like nobody on the sidewalks, and usually it's just full of people. So it's sad to see, but a necessary precaution. They said they're opening up casinos slowly in a week or two, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah,
have the lights been on and the fountains been doing their thing, or no? Has that all stopped?
I think maybe the lights of the hotels have stayed on, but besides that, all of the billboards and signs just say, you know, stay safe, we'll be back with you soon, things like that. So it's more supportive than anything else, which is nice.
And how are you doing? I know you've posted a couple of times that you've been finding it quite tough, this situation. How are you doing?
Yeah, I just find it tough because I'm someone who likes a plan and a schedule, and it's hard to like not really have a job and not be sure when I'm going to go back. So luckily I've been able to keep up training. My trainer here has a private gym, but at the same time it's like, okay, I'm training for something in maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months. So it's a little bit tough mentally. But of course, you know, there are so much tougher things in the world, and you know, the frontline workers and people like that, who I'm so grateful for, have it much tougher than me, who is just, you know, kind of waiting at home and trying to stay in shape. But at the same time, you know, anyone who doesn't have a job, it definitely is tough for them, I think.
We've been, throughout these lockdown lives, we've been asking viewers for their questions and fans for their questions. And one of the questions has been from Mary Riley. She's asked, how has your training been? You know, it must have been different to what you're normally doing.
It is, yeah, because for a certain point, tennis courts were closed over here as well for a couple weeks. So luckily that has reopened at the beginning of May. So I was able to get back out on the court. And like I said, just with my trainer in a private gym, keeping very strict social distancing regulations. But again, now that we're end of May, things are slowly loosening. So life feels a little more normal, obviously not the same, but just grateful I can stay in shape, because that helps me physically, of course, but also mentally. Like, okay, you know, I'm ready to go whenever I need to.
I was going to ask you that. Does it mean this period that you've trained harder? I'm somebody who has definitely worked out more because mentally it has an impact on me. It makes me fit, or because you haven't got the end goal, you know you're going to be going back at this date. Has that made the motivation tougher?
A little bit, yeah, sometimes. I think, like everyone, some days are good, some days are a bit tougher than others, but yeah, I mean, I think some people, there are so many like jokes and memes on the internet. So you either go one way or the other. You either like let yourself go completely, or you're going to like come out better than ever from this quarantine. Hopefully I'm the latter, and I'm going to come out stronger and better. But it's just about getting through those tough days, I think. You know, you're not going to feel great every single day. So one day at a time is important to have that mentality, especially now when we don't know exactly what's happening in the future. But yeah, looking forward to brighter days ahead.
What's been your key to getting through the tough days? Have you got a plan to get through them?
I really just try to think about getting through that day, this one day today, and then a lot of times, you know, after working out or after, you know, going on the phone with family or friends, I'll feel better, and then, you know, things are fine. So yeah, it's just about just staying strong, getting through it. It's kind of like a mental toughness challenge a little bit. So I feel like I've gotten through it and I feel great. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
When do you think you're actually going to get back competitively on the tennis court? I know you're taking part in an exhibition match of you in June, a couple of weeks. But when do you think properly you'll end up back there?
Well, as of now, the tour is canceled until the end of July. So, you know, hopefully right after that, we can get back to real tournaments. I don't know if they'll extend that or not. But luckily, in the meantime, there have been these exhibitions popping up around the States, and I'm grateful I can play in one at the end of June in Charleston. So I'm like looking forward to that as if it's a real tournament, and like preparing for it, because it gives me something to do, something to focus on, and hopefully tennis fans can watch it as well and kind of get their fix of tennis through that. So does
it surprise you? I saw the quotes from Roger Federer overnight saying that he's not really training because he doesn't know when you've got that date penciled in. I was quite surprised about that in terms of, you know, giving you a purpose and keeping it going.
Well, he's definitely at a different stage of his career than I am. He also has 4 kids, so I can't imagine what being quarantined with kids is like. And also, of course, I think he's 38 now, so maybe, you know, his strategy is to kind of rest more and then just train when he knows when there's a specific date. But for me, you know, I want to just keep training and keep my body ready and, you know, just try to get in better shape than I was before, maybe. So that's how I see it.
Noah Sunga has asked, what city and tournament are you most sad about missing on tour this year?
I think a city I would have really wanted to go to this year was Rome. We have a tournament there in Italy, and it's one of my favorite cities. When I get asked what my favorite city is, I kind of say Rome. So I'm sad to have missed that one, and especially seeing how, you know, tough they had it over there in Italy as well kind of doubles that feeling. So I'll definitely say Rome.
Yeah, I missed a trip to Rome as well, actually, in the first couple of days of April. We were meant to be there, but it's definitely one on the list for early next year, isn't it? If or when we can get back there. Has this changed your appreciation of tennis? Have you?
Yeah, I mean, I love tennis, so that's never going to change, but I definitely appreciate my job more. I think I definitely appreciate traveling more because now we see, you know, we've been restricted with doing that. And, you know, sometimes when we travel a lot, it gets tough, and then you think, oh, the grind and I'm traveling every week and it's tiring. But, you know, what I wouldn't give to travel right now. So it just shows you that, you know, if you don't have something, maybe it makes the heart grow fonder, you know, missing it a little bit.
Do you think it'll have any lasting impact in terms of almost the tour becoming a little bit more compartmentalized in different regions in the world? Like if we're talking about aiming to get back in Washington, is it likely that's going to be just more US-based players and then the European tournaments will be more the Europeans, do you think?
It's hard to predict. That's a really good question. It's totally possible. I also see, you know, maybe changes at the actual tournaments in terms of closeness with either fans or other players or things like that. So maybe that would be something that changes. But it's hard to say right now, of course. I'm just looking forward to when we can get back, and I'll just, you know, do what we love to do. What
will the Grand Slams be like if they are Grand Slams without fans? I mean, the US Open is known for its crazy loudness and all those awesome kind of Saturday evenings, the late night sessions, isn't it?
I know. It's hard to imagine